but not quite. She could probably get a one flap over Jake Turner or anyone else in the center position and go bam, firepower.
Yeah, but at first she needs to maybe calm the temper and punch less dogs, especially on Hawaii.
I agree with that. And also, kind of looking ahead here, Nico, Arturo De La Rosa, Trishan, Lance McGuire, and Bobby Baylor, free agents next year.
I definitely say they should be picking up McNamara again. Uh, Arturo De La Rosa and Bobby Baylor probably just let them go. Uh, McGuire I think he was a late pickup.
I think so, yeah.
That was hey, you need to get another dedicated forward. It's like, okay, they got
Yeah,
one.
that's it. Yeah, that's K Ford, yeah.
So, yeah,
They
if you
have
want to keep
shot.
him on and just build him up, sure. But
Totes. And
They
also,
they have a good chance to do smart move and really solidify their team further. Because like I said, they don't risk in losing too much over the free agency.
yeah, the
They just
only starter they have that's going into free agency. In fact, even looking at their backups of their top 8 players, the only one that's going into free agency is McNamara.
yeah. And kind of going against you a bit there, Mig. If you want to resign Arturo De La Rosa for like maybe what she's making right now, or he's making right now, uh, do so at the amount that he's currently being paid,
Yeah, I suppose
because
1 mil isn't that bad.
yeah,
He's
1 mil's not that bad. He can still be either a player or maybe like a player cheerleader. Because I remember back when Arturo was on the Dakota Bikers, whenever Jaded and they were doing the Dakota Biker comic, there was a comic page that featured Arturo De La Rosa as the biggest cheerleader of the team. They scored when he cheered the loudest whenever they did well or did a big play.
Baylor
So
definitely should not be getting as big of a contract, though. He is 2004.
I think Baylor might be riding off with his brother after this season.
Anything else we want to talk about Seattle?
nope.
Good luck to Seattle in the playoffs. Keep at it. You got the Fox and the Bear, and everyone else.
Las Vegas.
The wild cards, literally the
Really
wild cards.
been
We did not
on a
expect
slide
these
for a
guys.
while. They were at the
Yeah,
top of the
well,
league for a little bit. At the third assessment, I think they're like at the top team of the league at one point, and since then they've slid hard.
I mean, of all the clusterfucks team in the West, they are the ones right now that are slipping a little bit.
I think, if anything, one thing they definitely need to do put Wayne Kirkpatrick as their starter again. Wayne Kirkpatrick is just so much better than Zindadel. I don't know why Kirkpatrick's the backup.
I agree there. Wait, didn't we mention something about Godfrey in the last assessment though?
No, I haven't cleared the notes from the last assessment. We said boost Kirkpatrick's threes, field goal at the bench, try Foxwell at starting for a game to get a feel for him, which I don't think they've done. I don't think he's ever started. No. And then Briley's defensive rebound.
Yep.
But no, I don't know why Godfrey is the starter, considering Patrick is just better at everything.
That might be the reason they're on their slide, maybe. Just putting that out there.
I mean, he
But
was
other
their
than
starter at the very start of the season and last season, and then he got injured, and they put Kirkpatrick. And then if you notice, for the 30 games he got injured, Las Vegas was doing really 30 days. Las Vegas was doing really well.
I agree there. And
Again,
So
plus,
yeah.
if they
I was
Go
gonna,
ahead.
put Kirkpatrick back up,
yeah, I was gonna say Las
Again,
Vegas has a really good roster, and I'll let Puppy take over because I've been talking about the last two.
Las Vegas is the case. They got a great starting line. I mean, Black, Kirkpatrick, Misha, Hook, Lee Ho Fook, are still doing well. Lee Barraquin also. And like I said, and when you say so the bench, well, Briley also. Let's not forget Briley. So they got a decent bench. The storyline are good, but like I said, it's maybe like making the proper adjustment to have a better momentum going into the playoff.
Totally, they got
I
echoing
think
what
of
Puppy
all
said.
the
They got it.
teams so far, they have the most players that are at starter potential. Because like if Fook gets injured, oh hey, you put it in Hill, you're not really suffering much. If Black gets injured, oh you put in well, or if you have Misha and Black, if Maxwell gets injured, oh hey, you put in Black, you're probably doing just as well. If I'm going to say Kirkpatrick is the star, if he gets injured, oh hey, you have Zinedell, who's just as well. So their top three spots, if someone gets injured, eh.
And I might also say that even if something happens to Briley or Barraquin, they got some people who can back them up.
If need be, you
Samantha,
can throw Kirkpatrick as the power forward. If like Briley gets injured, if Barraquin gets injured, you have Knutson.
yeah,
So they have a lot of tools for they aren't as hurt by injuries as some of the other teams like Santa Ana.
hmm
But again, it's all about to work strategy now. Do the
Yeah.
proper adjustment, edit out, try to finish the season strong, to be in a better position mentally when the playoff comes. Because from what I've been seeing, it's like if the playoff was starting now, they're going to face off either Winnipeg or the Lone Stars.
I definitely see Las Vegas as being a team near the end of the season that since they're currently going to be in the back half anyway, if it gets to the point where it looks like yeah they're not going to be able to move, instead of doing oh hey let's just give garbage time to the because some of these teams it's like yeah once you've secured your seed that you want, just go ahead and like throw your deep reserves as your starters. Let them have some fun. For this team, I say once you get to that point, really start playing with your starting lineup. Like try Dorian Black as like flip out your starting lineup completely with your backup starting lineup and see how they do for a game or two, as opposed
I
to just
mean, yeah,
get. Because yeah, I'm sure it's like yeah for Queens. Well, Queens is still currently fighting for first seed. Montana will probably be the first team to do that if they clinch the number one seed. Just say, okay, we're just gonna. Montana could theoretically have like 3, 4 games. They'll say, okay, yeah, we're not gonna. All of our starters are just gonna sit and twiddle their thumbs. We're gonna let the rest of the team play
yeah.
because they have
but
that lead. The only other thing they'd be fighting for once they clinch their conference is okay, clinch the final, the home court advantage in the finals. But
yeah, they need to really work and shaping up their roster because, like I said, if they keep dropping or they're staying like even so, they can lose their own court advantage. And when, like I said, if
they've
the
already
playoffs
lost
start,
home court. Las Vegas has already
yeah,
lost home court advantage. They
Yeah,
were the
and
number
even
one
so,
team. They are currently the seventh seed. So they've lost home court advantage. So they need to retool their starting lineup to try and retake it. Or
and imagine it's 7 seed and they take a hot team and just like that they could be already be knocked off on the first in the first round. So you really have to work the strategy here.
you definitely want to be going into the final with a losing record because that's definitely not.
Yep.
So, anything
And
else you want to talk about Las Vegas?
they have 9 players going into free agency this season.
Wow.
They got
Holy.
Misha Maxwell, Godfrey Zinfandel, Dorian Black, Samantha Constanson, or however you pronounce that name,
Canute,
Juniper Hill,
Canute.
Knutson?
uh, Kamakane, uh, Kamakani Iona,
Kamikani
uh,
Yona?
yeah, Emily
Kamikani.
Blake, Doug Dramison, and Ricky Singh.
They definitely have a lot of players that they should be fighting for to keeping.
Priority Misha.
Fight for Misha, definitely.
Definitely fight for Misha. I'd say still fight for Hill. They got
Definitely
Hill
fight for
dirt
Hill.
cheap, and she's a really good player.
Yeah,
Black too should
we
be.
were giving Juniper Hill high praises at the beginning of the
Yeah,
season for
we put
being
her as a
amazing.
grab, so we were expecting her to possibly get like a 6 to 8 mil contract instead of the 1 year 1 mil.
Yeah, they grabbed her on
Black
a
also be
they grabbed
important
her.
to keep.
Yeah, they grabbed her on a chance, but now she's more of a take or grab. Like
I'd still say she's a. I won't. I would still not put her as a fight, but if you look at her,
I'd probably put her as a fight minus maybe.
I would still put her as a grab level because she is still doing really well. She's not the offensive powerhouse she was last season, but
She's put up some good stuff.
she's now. It wasn't so much like last year. It's like, oh hey, she had like the top offensive rating of the league with like no playtime. But this one's like, no, her offensive rating is still really good. Her shooting's a little poor, but she's a really good, at least backup point guard, maybe starting point guard if you really need one.
Yeah, she's actually moved back in the bench a little bit. She's let's see, bench
Black
1, 2,
is
3,
also starting to
bench
get
4.
old. He's 2007.
Probably like minimum contract for him if he's still any good.
Dorian Black, if you're at his point, he's still good. Maybe do a declining contract, one that gets
Yeah,
smaller over time because he is going to be declining. But definitely go for Misha. Definitely fight for Misha. Uh, I think Zendadel's also getting old, isn't he?
Zinfandel, yeah, I think he is. I could look him up real quick. It's like,
2005.
yeah.
But especially since you have Kirkpatrick, I say let Zendendel go fight for some of the other people. Who knows? Maybe they'll really
Well,
pit.
they're going to have to fight. They're going to have the chance to take a big piece because with Leo Fook that's going to be retiring at the end of the season. They're going to have to plug that hole.
I think they got someone to plug that
Well, they
hole in
got a
either
lot
Juniper
of
or
people.
Laertes.
You also have Ricky. Well, I'm not going to count no playtime, but yeah, Juniper Hill and Laertes are both really good on the PPR. So I think Laertes is still on the team. Yeah. So
The Laertes is still on the team, and since last time he hasn't moved from his spot, so give him a shot at, like I said, kind of echoing like I said at the last assessment. Try giving him a start at point guard if you got a chance. If you got like a game where you think you can afford it, try it, see what it can do.
even if
At
need
this
be,
point,
throw him as the replace him with Dorian for a few games.
yeah, I would agree with
Have him
that.
be as a backup, be your backup guard for a few games, see how he fills in. Because yeah, they have a lot of tools